100 years later, almost 100 years later, we must be reminded, and it was just shared with us in an expression of the mission of this very institution, the World War II Museum, that their work was like the work of all of the American soldiers, sailors, airmen, Marines. Their work was like the mission of all of the men and women who worked in the industrial factories that made the things necessary to stand up the effort in World War II. And that was the defense of American democracy. The American war in World War II was not a war of aggression. It was not a war of vanity. It was not a war to flex one's muscles for the sake of it. It was a war by this nation to protect American democracy against the aggression of the Germans and Adolf Hitler, and then against the aggression of Imperial Japan. We cannot celebrate the Tuskegee Airmen without an embrace of the very purpose for which that heroic, costly, in terms of lives and money, American undertaking was. I'm always stunned when I think that in 4.5 years, this nation was to stand up an effort to successfully win a two-front war. We won in Europe, and we won in Asia. And that cemented this nation as the citadel on this globe of this system called democracy. So if there's anything we must reaffirm and fight for, it is the fundamental principles of democracy in any and everything we do. I was in a foreign land, don't want to name the country, and someone on a mission there, and we began, I said, you can't say what you want here. I can't say what I want. You can't say what you want here. It's not allowed in this country. This person scratched their head and wondered why it was not allowed. Well, under the mistaken impression that the things we hold dear, like the First Amendment and the Bill of Rights, were somehow some kind of global edict and existed in every country. We cannot take for granted the importance of American democracy. So here in New Orleans today, the Tuskegee Airmen have an initiative in partnership with the city of New Orleans to train a new generation of aviators. A new generation of aviators from this community who are learning to be pilots. But they're not learning to be pilots for simply the joy of flying a plane. They're learning to be pilots so that hopefully one day they can become a part of the Air Force, a part of the Marines, a part of our fighting forces in defense of American democracy, in defense of American democracy. And in this moment in American history, as World War II becomes, for too many people, a long-distant memory, it is crucial and important that we instill and imbue through accurate portrayals of history to our young people what World War II was all about. We must not take it for chance. We must not assume. But while we do that, we also have to be unafraid to say that the American military in the 40s was a segregated military. And we must not be afraid to say that a courageous president, Harry S. Truman from Independence, Missouri, signed an Executive Order 9981, that desegregated the American military. And in many respects, strengthen the American military by saying that any and all people. And that journey to strengthen the American military continues to this day. In a nation like ours, we must say that all people from all communities are welcome to serve in the armed forces, welcome to serve in positions that are high and low, welcome to serve, and I expect the leaders to promote that message. Not to suggest that women can't serve, not to suggest that people who may not be from certain communities can't be a part of what we're trying to build. Because American democracy is something for everyone. So when we talk about our young people today, it's often cliche-ish that we say what is happening with our young people. It's often cliche-ish where we lament what they're doing. Listen to the music they listen to. Look at the way they wear their clothes and wear their hair. And I say, boy, you just don't remember. When I walked in my grandmother's house with my great big afro, when I was a junior in high school, she said, boy, where are you going and where are you coming from? I said, everybody wears their hair this way. You could go back to the rock and roll days, you can go back to the R&B days. I think we need to be less concerned about appearance and more concerned in what's in young people's heads. I think we need to be less concerned about what music they listen to and ask what animates their hearts, what animates their commitment. I think we need to be less concerned about the superficial, and we need to be instilling in them a commitment to do your best and be excellent at everything you undertake. And I believe very importantly that in this moment, the airmen, the Tuskegee Airmen, I think their mission going forward has to be to instill in the youth these basic fundamental principles. Because you've got a gateway. And that gateway is the stories of the Tuskegee Project. That gateway is the story of those who were locked out and left out. They're those that many felt could not be successful, who achieved heroism and excellence in defense of American democracy. That story has to be told. But it has to be told not only backward looking, it has to be told forward leaning in terms of everything that it means today. So the Tuskegee Airmen, as those of you who are family members, supporters, and friends, imagine that going forward, it is about history, it is about legacy, it is about storytelling of the experiences, but it's about tomorrow, it's about the future, it's about what we instill in our young people, it's about what we teach them, how we teach them. They should know the Bill of Rights. It shouldn't be like the poll that took place at Times Square about 5 years ago. They walked around and they asked people, what are the three branches of government? One answer, Republicans, Democrats, and Independents. Another answer, federal, state, and local government. This is true. Then name your favorite Supreme Court justice. And the winner was none other than Judge Judy. This is because we're not teaching, we're not instilling, we're not insisting that civics and American government and democracy and the rule of law need to be taught, because to me it's as important as coding. It's as important as physics. It's as important as math and biology. Because if we don't understand the very essence of this nearly 250-year-old nation, then we are simply going to be zombies. walking around chasing dollars and money without an understanding of the purpose and the social good. So Tuskegee Airmen, you have a mission. You have a mission going forward that is critical and that is important. You have a story to tell. Let the word go forth that this program to train these young aviators, it exists in New Orleans today. Let it exist in Chicago tomorrow, in Phoenix, in Tempe, in Los Angeles. Let it exist all over. Let's let the airlines and the military know you want to invest in tomorrow, invest in the Tuskegee Airmen's program to train young and new aviators. You want to instill in our young people a sensibility about American democracy? Let them do a field trip to this facility to see some of the exhibitry, fighting for the right to fight, understanding the backstory, the sacrifice, understanding that, yes, the American military was great, but it had a flaw that the Truman Executive Order worked to repair and worked to fix. And let the message go forth to those that lead today. We are not going back. We're not going back to a yesterday mindset when it comes to who we are. So I'm honored to be with you today. I salute these incredible aviators, the support personnel, all of the men and women. And I also salute the fact that there's been this great determination to celebrate and hold this together, my friend. And it's on your shoulders and the shoulders of your board and everyone in here to continue to take this forward, to continue to reimagine what the future can and should be. So long live the Tuskegee Airmen. Long live American democracy for which we fight for. And my name is Marc Morial, and I authorize this message.